Good morning, everyone. For some of you, it will be good morning because I have an exam, and the score wasn't too good for many of you. Actually, 12 people did not pass this exam from 30, no, 27. From 27 of you, 12 people did not pass. So it will not be so good day for you guys. I'll give you an exam back when more people come toward the end, around 10 minutes before our class ends. And then you have to fill out a reflection. When you fill out the reflection, give it back to me, and then I'll add 3 points to your exam. It's not my policy, it's the department policy. If you fill out your exam reflection, and then you get 3 points in this exam. In the next exam, you get 2 points. Any question? Any comments? Any concern? Any complaint? Any complaint about the exam? Anything? Nothing you can remember now? I actually have lots of complaints. I gave you basically the exam before the exam, right? I gave you everything. I told you what will be in the exam, how many questions will be in the exam, what topic will be in the exam. I gave you everything about the exam. Then what did you feel? I want to know that. But we'll discuss that later once you see your exam. So from chapter 4, we are done with section 4.123, and the homework due date, is it last week or tonight midnight? Do you know the date? Last week Tuesday or tonight midnight? Oh, sorry, next Tuesday. 4.123. Was it Tuesday midnight or upcoming Tuesday midnight? I don't remember. This last Tuesday or next Tuesday? This week. So last Tuesday. So that means for next Tuesday, you have 4.5 coming up. And then tomorrow we are going to do 5.1. So for next week Tuesday, you have 2 homework and 1 quiz. So 4.5 talks about real life application of system of linear equations. So we learned how to find how to solve system of linear equations, and now we want to know when actually we use them in our life. Why do we care about them? Well, we use them a lot in our life. Sometimes we use them to have fun. Sometimes we use them to solve our problem. So this is a fun question. 2 numbers, total 39, and 1 number is twice the other number. What are the 2 numbers? It's like a quiz. Can you think of 2 numbers? The total is 39. What does total mean? When do you get total? When you add, subtract, multiply, divide. Add. So basically they are saying 2 numbers add up to 39. And 1 number is twice the other number. What are the 2 numbers? Oliver. 26 and 13. So we have 13 and 26. They add up to 39. Great. How did you figure them out? Okay. So you already know the answer. So help me with this one, please. How did you do it yesterday? So 2 numbers add up to 39. Let's say 1 number is x. So x is 1 number and y is the second number. So first sentence is their sum is 39. So x plus y is 39. And then how do you write the second sentence? 1 number is twice the other number. X equals to y. We don't know which one is twice. Well, let's say y is twice. So we have two system equations, and then you have two choices. Either graph them, or use substitution or elimination. It's up to you which method you want to use. So Oliver, which method did you use? So substitution. It substituted 2y with the x here. So first equation becomes 2y, and then we have plus y equals 39. So how many y's we have? 3 and 1 gives us 3. So 3y is 39. How do you solve for y? Right. Divide by 3. So y equals 13. See how easy we solve for 1? And then we go back here to solve for x. We know x is twice amount of y. So we already found that our y is 13. So it's twice is 26. And that's it. One number is 13, other number is 26. You can do it mentally, but in the exam, I want to show you work. So even if you do it mentally, show me how did you do it mentally. Any question? How do you get 3? So x is 2y, right? Yeah. And here it says x plus y. Just this x is 2y. And then we still have another y equals 39. So how many y's you have? 2y plus 1y. How many y? 2y. It's just two. It looks weird. Any other question? No? Okay. Next one is something that we always do in our daily life. Either we do it daily, weekly, monthly, at least once in our life, we face this problem. Sulu buys 5 apples and 4 pears. And he pays $22.80. If apples cost 3 times as much as the pears, how much is the cost for the apple and the pears? So you went to a store and you had $22.80. With that, you bought 5 apples and 4 pears. But suppose you don't know how much is each one of them. How much is one apple and how much is one pear. But you do know the price of the apple is 3 times more than the pear. Actually, it should be other way around. Apple is cheaper, right? In real life, apple is cheaper, but pears is more expensive. But that store is unusual store. Is an unusual store. Apple costs more than pears. Who knows? So this is a weird store. You went to a weird store and you realize that apple costs more than pears. And you had $22.80. So the store gave you 5 apples and 4 pears. How much is each one of them? Real life scenario, right? So what do you think, Jeremiah? Let's say apple is A and pear is P. So we can see easily what is X, what is Y. But A means number of apples. P means number of pears. But 22 is money.
Oh.
Is only one apple and one pear is $22.80.
Oh no. 3A.
3A, no, 5A. This is 5.
5.
So 5A, 4P. So total amount of money he spent in the store is 5 apple and 4 pears, and the money is $22.80. Okay. Let's say A represent the cost for apple and P represent the cost for P. So 5A plus 4P is 22.80. So our first sentence give us one equation. What do you think the other equation be? Apple costs 3 times more as pears. So what would be this equation? Apple cost more. I mean, apple cost 3 times as pear. Why 15? He bought only 5 apple. You are not buying 3 times more apple. The cost is 3 times more. So if one pear is $1, one apple is $3. This is what it means. So apple costs 3 times more than the pear. Go ahead. A equals 3P. So whatever cost we have for pear, apple costs 3 times more than that cost. So if pear is $1, apple is $3. If pear is $2, apple is $6. Okay, so apple is 3 times more than the pear. So now we have 2 equations. Any question on these equations? So in the exam, there will be separate points for the equations. If you show correct equation, you get 2 points or 4 points. And then for the work, the rest of the points. So what do you think we should do to solve for our apple and pears? Which method? Apple costs 3 times more than pear. So if one pear is $1, then how much is one apple? Apple cost 3 times than the pear.
Single pear, right?
Mhm.
The wife, there's no wife that 3 times.
Then it means pear costs 3 times apple. Whatever here the times, the number has to go the letter has to go next to that number. So apple costs 3 times more than pear. So 3 times pear. They have to be together. Good job. We know A is 3P. So we are going to substitute this A with the 3P. So first equation is 5A, but we're not going to write A. We are going to write 3P. And then we still have 4P equals $22.80. So what do we have? How much we get from here? 15P plus 4P is $22.80. So how much is total P? 19. P is $22.80. 80 cents. Bad news, you're not allowed to use calculator. So what can we do so that we don't have to use calculator? This is actually a final exam question. In one of the final, this question came. So you have two choices. Either do the division manually or modify and then do the division. So in order to get the P alone, we need to divide both sides by 19, right? This is up to you now. Divide by 19, and we have this. So what could be an easier way to divide this? Let me show you the manual division. We have 22.80 and we are dividing by 19. 19 goes to 22 how many times? Once. So we write 19 times 1, 19, below 22, and then we subtract. How much is 22 minus 19? 13. No, 3, right? 20, 21, 22, 3. And then we have to bring down the next number, but between this number and next number, you have a decimal. So we have to put a decimal exactly above this decimal. This is the division rule for decimal. My 1 is a little bit on the side, so let me show like 1 here, and then you have a decimal. So exactly above this decimal, you're going to place the decimal, but you're going to bring down this 8 next to the 3. Bring down 8 next to the 3. So now instead of 3, we have 38. Do you know 19 goes to 38 how many times? 2. 19 times 2 is 38. So we have 38 here. And when you subtract this down, we have no more remainder. That means 19 goes to 22.80 evenly 1.2 times. So that tells us each pair costs $1.20. Okay, so each pair $1.20. From there, how much is the apple? It's 3 times $1.20. So basically you're doing 3 times 12. So 3 times 12 is 36. But we are working with decimal, so you have to put decimal between 3 and 6. So we get $3.60. Really? Each apple is $3.60. Who's gonna buy them? Probably this apple is a big apple, not the normal size apple. One day I went to a store, Pine Fair, I think, and I got a small apple. Okay, so I thought, well, it could be 29 cents, 30 cents, something like that. When I went to the register, guess how much was the apple? $1, true. I was like, seriously? It's a small apple. How can it be $1? But I bought it anyway because I was craving for it real badly. But I did not enjoy it because it was $1. I would have enjoyed it if it was 29 cents or 30 cents, something like that. It would have been much more tastier that time. So this apple is $3.60. I don't think I will ever buy one apple with $3.60. Any question? Pear makes sense. Pear does cost around $1. But apple, no. So see, real life scenario, Jeremiah.
The amount of items.
And A is $1. So 5 items, we don't know how much each. So 5A and then 4P, we don't know how much is, so it's 4P. Any other question? I'm giving you another final exam question. You're going to have one of these. Either something like this or something like the next slide. Let me to the next slide. Okay, the next one. How are you doing by yourself? So let me write this down. These are final exam question. Final. 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 Okay. So either you have one from those two or one something like this. And then we have one more choice with money. Pennies. This one says, let's say you are throwing a fruit party and your budget is only $24. And you want to buy 30 avocados and kiwi. Now, each avocado is $1.50, each kiwi is 50 cents. How many you can buy for your party? Think of this as a real problem for you. Place yourself in this scenario. How are you going to solve it?
30 pieces.
30 pieces total. If you buy 15, then you cannot buy everything with $24. Your budget is only $24. Each kiwi is 50 cents only. Or each avocado is 3 times more, 150. Will it work if you buy 50-50? 15? Probably not. Because avocado costs 3 times more than your kiwi. Let me take your attendance. Manisha, Eliza, Memuna, Fabricio, Sergio, Miley, Hemlard here, Oliver here, Himadri here, Mustafa, Jacqueline, Jiain, Anaya, Jason, Atsiri, Anthony, Joseph, Sitleli, no. Saida, Mohammed, Ronaldo, Daniel, Jeremiah, Camila, Haley, Philia, and Josim. So, are you guys able to solve your problem? How many of each you can buy with $24? And you must buy total 30 of them. In a real life, how would you solve it? Definitely in the store, you're not going to take paper and pen, right? And then do these sort of equations. It doesn't make sense, right? So in real life, how are you going to solve it? No comments from anyone? Jeremiah.
I would like buy what's most expensive first. And then if I know I'm about to reach my limit, I start going to the cheaper stuff.
So would you like to help me with your idea?
I'm gonna go pick
Any other idea? Mohammed? No? Sergio? So you initially thought 15 would be okay. But let's see. If you have 15 and each one costs 150 and 15, each one costs 50, total how much you need to have? 15 times 15 is 225. So here you already have $22, 50 cents. And half of 15 is 7.5. So you're already over limit because the budget is only $24. So how are you going to solve this issue? Anybody? So you guys are not good buyer? How do you solve your real life problem? We do face this type of problem every day, right? You have some budget and then you have some amount definitely need to buy. And then you go to store and then you buy. So how do you figure that out? How much each one or how many items you can buy from each type within your budget? I actually literally take my calculator, my phone out, and then calculate everything one by one. That's how I do. So since we are in an algebra class, we don't have to do it using our logic because we can use system of equations. So let's convert every information into some mathematical notation. The first one is 30 pieces of avocado and kiwi. Let's say avocado is A and kiwi is K. Okay, so you need 30 pieces of avocado and kiwi. How can you write this? And this time it's number of avocado and number of kiwi. So A is number of avocado and K is number of kiwi. So how can you convert this information? Good, it gave me the second equation, which is your budget is $24 and each costs that. So let me write this equation here. Each avocado costs 150 and each kiwi costs 150 and we have total $24. So we have one equation about money. And then we can have another equation with 30 pieces. Good job. So first equation is number. Avocado plus kiwi. We know definitely we need 30 pieces of them. And the second one is saying, well, we have $24. So each avocado times its cost plus each kiwi times its cost has to be total within the $24. So now we have two system of equations. It's time to solve, but the problem is we have a decimal. So we don't like decimal. So we can convert this decimal into whole number. If you multiply the entire thing,
This question is like that. Budget, do we have to use the whole budget or under the budget?
whole, you must spend $24. You cannot save anything. In real life, we actually can save, right? We buy within our limit, and then we have some leftover. But in math question, you cannot have any leftover. So what do you think? Multiply 1.50, or observe one thing, that all of the decimals, they have an extra zero, right? 50 has a decimal extra, so zero extra, and 0.50 has a zero extra. So when you have an extra zero, you can actually ignore them. So ignore this zero, ignore this zero. So now after the decimal, how many places you have? We had two, but we ignored zero. Just one. So if you multiply the entire equation by 1, 0, and 1, all the decimal will turn into a whole number. Okay? So 1.5, if you multiply that by 10, it will turn into a 15. Anthony? You got the answer? Cool. So let me rewrite this. We have a plus k equals 30. And what will be the next line? 1.5a will turn into 15a, and 0.5k will turn into 5k. And then you have to also multiply 24 with 10. So how much is 24 times 10? 240. And then you have two choices. Use substitution or elimination. Anthony, what did you use? Logic or math? So use logic. So in the exam, remember, you must show the two equations, because these two equation cost will be, not cost, they will or either 2 points or 4 points. I'm not sure yet. Okay, 2 points or 4 points. And then the rest of the work or the other points. So let's say I want to use substitution. Not substitution. Substitution, I don't like that. Elimination. So if I want to use elimination, eliminating which one will be easier, A or K? A has 15 and K has only 5. So what do you think? Multiply by 15 is easier or multiplying by 5 is easier? 5, right? Because 5 is smaller. So I want to eliminate my case. So 15a plus 5k equals 240. We need to multiply the first equation by what, so that I can cancel my case. So in order to cancel my case, that this second k has plus 5, so this k has to be minus 5, so that you can cancel. So we have to multiply the top equation by what, so that the k will turn into minus 5k. Negative 5, not negative 1. Okay, so we got negative 5a minus 5k, and on the other side, negative 5 times 30, negative 150. So when we add the two equation, our k got vanished. So how many a's we have? Huh? 10. And what do we have on the other side? 240 minus 150. 190 or only 90? So 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 we cannot do, so it's 14 minus 5 is 9. But the 2 already turned into 1 because the 4 borrowed 1 from the 2. So this is same as 240 minus 150. So 4 becomes 14, so 2 becomes 1. Okay, so to get the A1, what do you do? Buy 10. So how many avocados you can buy? 9. But you also need to know the kiwi. If you can buy only 9 avocado, how many kiwis are the rest of the amount? How many of them? 21. 30 minus 9, that gives us 21 kiwis. See? Next time when you go to store, make sure, and you have this type of problem, make sure you have one paper and one pen. Because you need to do all of these.
If you were like plugging numbers, what is it won't count?
As long as you give me these two equations and then do whatever you want to do, it's fine. Cool, right? What do you think? Was it fun?
Like how real life numbers.
Mm-hmm. The problem is you guys are not connecting your life with the problem. If you place yourself, you definitely have to solve it, right? In real life. So how are you going to solve it? Think about that. And this will be fun to you and easier. Try the next one. And this time you have a piggy bank. You have a piggy bank with quarters and nickels. And when you count, I mean, you know the total amount is 90. You know that. But the problem is you don't know how many quarter and how many nickels. Because each time when you put the coin, let's say your piggy bank has counter. It counts how many coins it has inside, but it doesn't tell you how many each one of them. So how can you figure out how many each one of them you have? If it contains 19 coins and total money is $3.55. So this piggy bank is a special piggy bank. It counts how many coins it has and how much money it has. Unfortunately, its function is not too advanced. It cannot count how many each one of them you have inside. This should be easier problem, right? Think about it. Assume you have that piggy bank with 19 coins and total $3.55. So how many quarter you have and how many nickels you have? And I put it here because it's searching. Oh, how many we have? How many we have? So you cannot break your piggy bank, but you have to guess how many quarters you have and how many nickels you have in there. How would you figure that out? If you know total money and total number of coins. Who came late? Eliza and Sit Lily? Sit Lily, right? Is it Lily or Lali? Sit Lali or Sit Lily? Sit Lali. Okay. Jacqueline. Ready? Who has some idea? Some ideas. Q plus nickel is 19. Perfect. .25Q. 0.05 nickel. $3.55. Good job. You got them. So you earned 2 points here, or 4 points, not sure. So once you have your two equations, the rest should be easier. Right? This time, after the decimal, how many non-zero we have? Non-zero numbers. 2. So if you multiply the entire equation by what, so that all the decimal will turn into whole numbers? 100. So we multiply by based on how many non-zero number we have after the decimal. We multiply by that many zeros with 1 in the front, and then they will turn into whole numbers. So the first 0.25Q will turn into what? 25Q. And 0.05 nickel will turn into what? 5 nickel. And $3.55 will turn into 355. And we still have Q plus nickel equals 19. I love elimination because elimination is simple right here. So let's say I want to use elimination. So which variable getting rid of will be easier?
No, I have a question. It's 20 by what?
We multiply by how many non-zero number we have after the decimal. So in the last one, we had one non-zero number, and then we have a 0. So after a number, if you have a 0, that 0 doesn't count. But here, see, we look at all of them, and all of them have 2 places after the decimal, and this 0 is to count because this is before a number. If you have a 0 before number, you have to count that. But if you have a 0 after the number, we don't count them. Jeremiah. Great. Getting rid of nickel will be easier because it's a smaller number in the front. So we need to multiply this entire thing by -5. Anthony, do you have a question? Any question, Anthony? No? So -5 quarter, -5 nickel. And we need to know what is 19 times 5. Let me show you an easier method, okay? 19 times 5, you don't have to do it manually. You can do an estimate. What is 19? What is 20 times 5? 100. But we have only 5 of them, right? So we have extra 5 in 100. So if you take out that extra 5, how much you have? 95. So this should be 95. So if we have 20 of them, so if you have 25 of them, then it's 100, but we have 19 or 20. So it's we get it a 5 and we get our answer. But if you did not understand what I did, do manually. 5 times 9 is 45. So 5 goes down, 4 goes on the top as an addition. 5 times 1 is 5, plus that 4 is 9. Ta-da! It's 95. And then we keep our second equation exactly as it is. And we have 355. Nickel cancel out. So how many quarters we have? 20. And how much is 355 minus 95? 260. To solve for Q, what do we do? By 20. So 0, 0 cancel out. What is 26 divided by 2? 13. So we have 13 quarters. How many nickels then we have? 19 minus 13, right? Because we have total 19 of them. So we have 9 nickels and 13 quarters. So we have more quarters. Any question? Anthony?
The top equation, -5, 2 minus 5, and how do you get the 5?
Our original equation is quarter plus nickel equals 19. And I wanted to get rid of my nickels. So in order to get rid of the nickels, the second equation has 5 nickels. So that means here we have to have -5 nickels. How can you have it? If you multiply everything by -5. Any other question? Then we have one more question. And this will be our last question for 4.5. So tomorrow we are going to do section 5.1 and 10.2. This is also another real life scenario. Jen Butler has been pricing street pass train fares for a group trip to New York. 3 adults and 4 children pay $94. 2 adults and 3 children pay $66. What is the price for each one of them? The adult price and the children price. So when you buy 3 adults and 4 children, it's 94. And if you reduce the amount to 2 adults and 3 children, it gets 66. So how much is each one of them. What do you think? Can you do it mentally or you need the help of system of equations? In real life, how would you do it, Jeremiah?
I know all of this is different, so
Let's say they did not give you the price. They're just telling you, if you buy 3 adults and 4 children, you're going to pay 94. But if you do 2 adults and 3 children, you have to pay 66. So now you have to find what is the cost for each adult and each child.
we just look at the purchases.
Any other ideas? Which one you think is cheaper? $94 or $66? It sounds cheaper, but look at the people. For the top one, you have 3 adults and 4 children. On the bottom one, we have 2 adults and 3 children. So if you compare both of them, in which one you're paying less amount for each one of them? Since you have no idea about real life, let's do it using system of equations. Who can give me the first system of equation? Anthony.
First one, right, for is cheaper because accepted people, they want to pay or second one,
True. Look at the calculation. We have $94 spending and we have 7, so $13. And the next one is $66 for 5. So 66 divided by 5. The second one is 20 cents cheaper, actually. The first one is 13.4, the second one is 13.2. 20 cents. Yeah. It's not much difference. But anyway, we still want to know how much is cost for each one of them, for adults and for children. So what is our first equation? I bolded the line. 3 adults, 4 children, pay $94. How can you express this using an equation? Good job. Let's say adults is A and children is C. So 3A and 4C gives us total $94. What's the second equation? 2A and 3C gives us 66. Now, none of the coefficients are same. That means in order to get rid of one of them, you have to multiply both equations by their opposite coefficients. So which one you want to get rid of, A or C? It doesn't matter. Let's say I want to get rid of A, because it's in the front, A. So in order to get rid of A, we want the same coefficient in front of A with opposite sign. So what can you multiply the first equation by? And what can you multiply the second equation by so that our A will have the same coefficient in the front or on the front with opposite sign? So you have to multiply this by -2, y2, because this is 2. So you multiply the first equation by the second coefficient, and the sign also has to be, one of them has to be negative. Either the top one or the bottom one, doesn't matter. One of them must be negative. And we multiply the second equation by 3. Why 3? Because we have 3 here. So multiply one equation by the coefficient of the other equation. In that way, you'll have the same number, but the signs are different. So the top one becomes negative 6a, negative 8c, and negative 94 times 2. How much? 188. And the second equation becomes what? Positive 6a. And how many c? 9c. And we have 66 times 3. 198. So we add the two equations, they cancel out. How many c's we have? 9c minus 8c. Only one c, right? And how much is 198 minus 188? 10. So our children cost $10 ticket. And now you have to find the adult price. So we take any one of the equation, doesn't matter which one. Let's say I'm taking the second one because 66 looks nicer. So we have 2 adults plus 3 children, total 66. We already found that our children is $10. So 2 adults plus 3 times 10 gives us 66, which is 66. And now how do you solve for A? Get the A alone. So subtract 30. We get we get 2A equals 66 minus 30, 36. To solve for A, divide by 2. So what is half of 36? 18. So $18 adult, $10 children. Any question on this? Was anything unclear, confusing? No question? Let me give you the reflection first. You have to fill out the reflection today and give it to back. Make sure write down your name. And this is exam 1 reflection. Also on the top, write down exam 1. And today's date is 12/2/20. Miley. Joseph. Eliza. Hamlet. Mustafa. Absent. Ronaldo. Green. Yain. Jeremiah. Azili. Haley. Jacqueline. Nemuna. Frida. Felicia. Janisha. Jennifer. Rai. Jessie. Mohammed. Danielle. Anthony. Sergio. Basmati. India is the only one I think which can have any yellow. Then I fill out, look at your exam, see what mistake you made, why did you make it, fill out the paper, and whatever score you have, you'll have 3 more points for filling out the paper. I will post the solution on Brightspace so you can compare your solution with the real solution. Danielle, no phone. Fill out the paper, the reflection. And on the back of the paper, write down why you did not do well. If you didn't do well. So let me write this down here. On the back of the reflection sheet, answer this question. Why you did not do well in your exam? Or why did you make mistake? Okay. And if you failed, why did you fail? Why is the result you have?